Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks. Presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to week 17 of the Drew and Stu podcast. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Cam, rough week for both of us. The roughest week of the season for me. Just 5 games correct, even after the switches. Best bets for both of us were both 1 and 2. Was apologies to the viewers. We just didn't read the week right, and a bunch of crazy stuff happened. The Denver Broncos cost me a bunch of stuff on my parlays. Cam, what was the worst game for you?
I don't know, Drew. It's kind of a bad week in general, and the furnace kicked out, and I'm doing shows that's like minus in my house, and I got 4 space heaters going. My girlfriend bought me a Navage too, and the thing like blew up my nostrils. Like it's just like I'm like Niagara Falls. Anyway, we're hanging in there, Drew. We'll have a better week, but you're right. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I would say the most disappointing, Denver, just the way they played against the Rams. It made Baker Mayfield
and
look
Cleveland.
Like
Cleveland really bothered me. How do you do that?
We originally had New Orleans, and we switched.
But
the thing is, Taysom Hill, we talked about if they ran him, he had a touchdown, and Kamara finally had a touchdown in that game. So that's the thing. The Cleveland Browns they're just a bad football team, buddy. It's unbelievable. We thought they would just run Chubb and do all those things, but what are you going to do? It's the NFL, man. And I'm glad we stuck with the Cardinals. Like we had a couple good plays. Listen, it's a long year. You know it is, buddy. You're going to have bad weeks. We were doing really well for a while. That's the thing. It's the ebb and flows. It was just a really, really hard week. And I'm looking at the spreads this week, and I'm like, this is not getting any easier.
And how about the Cowboys with let's just kick a field goal, 2 minutes left, cover the number, just to screw Drew over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. Yeah.
Philly's leading the whole game, too.
Thanks, Miles Sanders, for that fumble. Really appreciate it.
You know what the sad thing is? That was a game we should have changed when I saw like 90% of the people run Philadelphia, too.
Dude,
it always seems to be that way.
Game.
I know. They should have won the game.
Yeah, anyways, we'll see in the playoffs when Hurts is back, or if he's back this week. It's still undecided, but let's get into Thursday Night Football, Cam.
Yep.
Tennessee Titans hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys 10.5-point road favorites. 10.5 points against Mike Vrabel and this Titans team. This Titans team lost to Houston last week, Cam. In a must-win game, you lose to the Texans. What is going on with this team? You can start here. Dallas pretty much locked into the 5 seed unless some crazy stuff happens in Philly. But it's another must-win game for the Titans, but do they win it?
That's the thing. No, I don't think they're going to win. The question is, Drew, do they cover 10.5?
I know.
I don't want to lay 10.5 with Dallas, but Tennessee's a train wreck. Like we talked about it. I knew that line was weird in the Houston game, and this team has problems. Actually, I can't believe it, Drew. I'm actually going to hit my 9.5 wins under now. Like, because what? There's 2 games left.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. You never know.
Well, how many games are left?
Oh, I know. Right? Yeah, you're right. They can only hit 9. Yeah, you're right. Surprise! There's an extra week. Yeah.
Dog. Anyway, I'm going with I'm going to go with Tennessee here. Hold my breath. This team is awful, and I expected this more at the start of the year. They overachieved, and now, Drew, they're kind of underachieving. So I guess we kind of expected them to be a 7-8 football team. I just didn't expect it to be in this way. Asking Dallas to win by 11 on the road is a lot. So basically, not with a lot of confidence, but I'll take the 10.5 with the home dog in Tennessee and hold my breath.
Yeah, Cam, I don't know if I can bet with Malik Willis. I know Tannehill's going to other doctors to see if he can play. They're like trying to like skew the system, I guess. We saw Mike White do that with New York. If Tannehill plays, I'll go with the 10.5, and because it's a Thursday game, we're not going to be able to update on the Friday show. So just know now, viewers, if Tannehill starts, I'm going 10.5 for the Titans, but I don't think he's going to start, which means I'm going with the Cowboys because I just don't see how Malik Willis scores in this Dallas defense. I mean, they haven't been playing great as of late, but Malik Willis looks terrible. Their offense has no weapons. It's just the Derrick Henry show, and I feel like Dallas can stop Derrick Henry if that's their only goal in this game. So give me Dallas to win this game gross, like 24-10, and they'll cover the number in my mind.
That could happen. Yeah, no, it's a tough game, Drew. Like I'm just taking the points because it's double digits, but Tennessee's awful.
All right, mystery tiebreaker man. Cam, let's see if you can guess where he is.
Dallas.
Correct. The Fonzie favorite continues the streak.
New season, same chalk after the holidays. And I love mystery bag. He's predictable, if not consistent.
Yes, exactly. Moving on, Cam. Arizona going to Atlanta. Arizona with the cover last week. Luckily, you convinced me to go on that side. That was one of my wins of the week. Atlanta, not so much. Didn't cover by a half point. Very frustrating Falcons performance, but they're 3.5-point favorites at home against the Cards. Likely Trace McSorley starting again. Ritter against McSorley. Cam, where are you going on this one?
Where are you going, Drew?
I'm going to go. I'm going with the home team. It's just going to be running the football. I think the Atlanta can win this game by more than 3.5. The reverse line movement I do not like. It started at 4 and 70% of the public's on Atlanta, and now it's 3.5, which always rings the bells, as we say, but I'm still going with Atlanta at home.
I lean that way too. I think Arizona had their big game, and that was a heartbreaking loss. They were playing, really good. The defense showed up, but that's at home, right? When you're a team that's already beaten up, you'll leave your best performances for the home crowd. Now you're taking your show on the road in the Battle of the Birds, and Atlanta's been pretty decent, actually. They covered against the Saints. They could have covered last week as well. They've been, at least playing football where they haven't quit. And I think they're better than Arizona. We got to win by 4 points, Drew. Line's gone down. I'm with you on Frank Falcon. Should be right around the number. I think they win by a touchdown and we cover.
How about Tom Brady once again getting bailed out by the defense late in the game? Like, how many times is this going to happen this year?
Every game. Think about the record,
so
what
frustrating.
It should be. It is, honest to God. Like, how does this guy win football games? You play like junk the whole game and all of a sudden just miss. Like, think about, Drew, double-digit comebacks with this team this year. How many games? Like, one of them was a loss. That's the thing. Like, he's done it a million times. This team could be so bad. Anyway,
and Arizona even got the ball to start overtime. I was like, oh, maybe they'll drive down the field. Nope, instantly 3 and out. And like,
I almost think the NFL likes it this way with these comeback stories. It's just another narrative.
Well, even the play calls, Cam, it's like 3rd and 5 in overtime, and McSorley's throwing 30-yard bombs to Hopkins. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, who's calling these plays? It's like they're throwing it. But yeah, as we know, Illuminati, Tom Brady, they're always going to rig it so he wins. They want that Cowboys Tampa matchup in the playoffs because the ratings will be through the roof. All right, Cam. Battle of the NFC North, Detroit Lions, disappointing loss. Essentially, their season was on the line last week and they lost. Yep. They can maybe get in if they win the next 2 games, but it's going to be tough. They need some other things to fall their way. They're 5.5-point favorites at home against Chicago and Justin Fields. Jared Goff at home has been amazing this season. On the road, he's been terrible. He's at home in this one, Cam, which means I like the Lions to cover the 5.5. I think they can blow the Bears out in this game by double digits.
I'm surprising myself. I initially took looking at the Bears, but I'm going to take the Lions too. I was actually on Carolina, Drew. I had a good feeling about that game. I should have made it as my gold pick. The more I thought about it, and I used Washington like an absolute idiot. Like, that team's just, God, they pissed me off.
I warned you. I said stop betting on Washington.
I know. But they also fumbled at the 1-yard line. They didn't get it on 4th down. Like, they killed themselves in that game when they could have covered. But anyway, I'm with you on Detroit. They're a totally different team at home, and I think Dan Campbell will have them playing for the home crowd. They got weapons. It's the thing about Detroit, though. Their defense was still exposed against Carolina. Carolina called a very smart game in that too. They pounded Detroit into oblivion. I just don't think
the Lions' run D was improved, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, where's the run defense? No longer exists.
No, that's the thing about the NFL, week-to-week league. Like, you try to find patterns. It's hard. But as for Chicago, they were beating Buffalo at one point, and then they got murdered in that game. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can't put 60 minutes together. They're not consistent. I think we can get Detroit by 10 points in this game. I don't like the fact that we have to lay 5.5, but I'll take the Lions. Back on the Lions train.
The Bears, it was a 1-score game until 5 minutes left, and then all of a sudden you look at the final score and the Bills won by 3 scores. It was a weird game. Josh Allen didn't play great, but the elements were crazy. They still covered. I had Chicago to cover, and they didn't. All right. Houston, Cam, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags coming off a big win. Now first place in the division. They're 4-point road favorites over the Texans. Where are you going in this one?
Drew, you sure you don't want to start, buddy? You want to give it the old college try?
Sure. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence have been unbelievable lately. They need this win to continue their lead in the division to go into Tennessee next week with the division on the line if the Titans win against Dallas, which they probably won't. So they could actually lock up the division this week depending on how that Thursday nighter goes. Give me Jacksonville to win this game by 4 points, Cam. I just think Houston's checked out. They realize they need this high pick in the draft, so they're going to lose this game on purpose. I know people are like, people don't throw games. Yeah, Houston's going to throw this one. Give me the Jags to win this by more than 4.
I don't know, Drew. Houston, they covered against Dallas. Okay. They won outright last week. They should have beat Kansas City. That's 3 straight covers. Am I not correct?
They shouldn't have beat Kansas City. KC.
But I'm saying it doesn't matter.
I understand.
They were going to cover the spread. Like, they won outright. I know Tennessee's horrible, but you know what? This is the thing about the NFL. And I love, buddy, who's rid the Jaguars harder? Me. I'm all about these cats. And I'm telling you, I'm taking Houston +4 in this game. And I might change this one on Thursday. I got to think about it a little bit more. But now you're asking the Jags, they have to win and win by points. Houston will lose this game in heartbreaking fashion, probably by like a last-second field goal. So I'll take the home dog in Houston. Drew, they're a covering machine. You got to hand it to these guys. You know, the crazy thing is, for as bad as they are, they're 7-7-1 ATS.
Like, but Cam, usually it's like 9 or 10 points plus, right? Like, this is a close spread for them to cover.
You're right. That's why it might be changed in the part 2 show on Thursday. But as of now, I'm going to ride the Houston Texans getting points.
Yeah, and as we've said before, this is reverse line movement again. Opened at -5 for Jacksonville. Everyone's betting Jacksonville, and it's down to -4. So Vegas, little trap they're laying for everybody, and I'm falling right for it. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
I think he's with the Jaguars.
Ding, ding, ding. You do good at this game show, Cam. You're just nailing it.
Honestly, if this was what is mystery bagman picking, I Drew, you're right. Like, how many showcases am I walking home with?
Yeah,
quite a few.
You're within the $200. You're winning both showcases at the end. All right. The Denver Broncos, Cam, going to KC to take on the Chiefs. You called it last week. The Chiefs blew out the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks just, I don't know what's up with them, man. They're just not playing well.
They're done.
Yeah, they are done. 13.5-point favorites at home against the Broncos. Russell Wilson and the Broncos were my favorite play last week. And look what that happened with that one. They got blown up by the Rams. Russell Wilson looked terrible. Their defense looked terrible. But you know what? I'm going back to the well, Cam. It may be crazy, but I think the Broncos can keep this close with their head coach now gone. They've got new life on the team. They don't care about the pick because they don't have it. So I think they keep this one close.
I agree, Drew. And the thing is, Kansas City, they covered because the whole world like Seattle getting that extra week. And I switched my pick thinking, you know what? Seattle can't play with anybody. They're a young football team that's had a good year, and they've hit a wall. They hit a wall earlier in like 5 weeks ago, and it just continues and continues to get poor. Denver, you're right, buddy. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. And I was right on the show last week. Why start Russell Wilson? You're going to need this guy around. He's under contract.
I know.
No, but Drew,
I see what you're saying.
You need Rippon. Like, you need Russell Wilson. It's a lost season. He had a horrible year. He looks awful. Just shut him down. I know he's going to get money. Like, let's restart. Denver needs a whole press the reset button. They fired Nate Hackett, who's a stooge. You know, I kind of feel bad for the guy. He seems like a nice guy, but just not a football coach. And I think this week we're getting 13. Honestly, if Rippon plays, I think Denver, I know he makes mistakes, but that whole game, you saw what Russell Wilson did against the Rams. He was awful too.
But now
and they're needing him. So
this is their way, though, to see if it's either the coach or if it's Russell. Because maybe the new coach comes in, even though it's the time clock guy. It's not even like a real coach.
The guy who screwed up earlier on in the year. Good hire.
What a mess this team is.
We'll take Denver. We'll take Bob Bronco and hope for the best, buddy. It's too many points.
Yeah, I think you get the backdoor cover. Casey just doesn't cover teams at home, Cam. I know they did to the Seahawks, but this is a different story.
Though.
Yeah,
they won by 14, and Seattle. Actually, you know what? Kansas City didn't even play that great that game. Seattle was just awful.
Seattle was brutal. Yeah, Geno Smith has lost his touch. I don't know if he's the long-term answer anymore, Cam. It looked like he was at the beginning of the year, but they might be moving on with that Broncos pick. All right, moving on. The Miami Dolphins, Cam, going to New England to take on the Patriots, likely without Tua Tagovailoa. So it's Mac Jones' chance to take over a playoff spot. The Patriots somehow still alive in this playoff race despite blowing the last two games late. I mean, they should have won last week with the fumble. I mean, Mac Jones, yet again, you see that dirty play against the Browns, Cam?
Unbelievable. Didn't I not call this? I
know.
Did another podcast with May and those guys, and I called Mac Jones some really bad words, and I was getting some DMs on Twitter saying, wow, Cam, like, you're actually right. What a dirty. And no, I don't. He's a bad dude. Like,
he's going to throw a pick one time, and someone's going to blow him
hold
up.
These nuts. Yeah, no, Chandler Jones was nice to him. No, what he should have done is just, like, buried him and put his knee in his throat like a wrestling move. Honest to God, like, you want to put Mac Jones, you want to play that game? Like, honestly, that, like, you can end a guy's career, and players in the NFL will remember that. You're right, Drew. The next time anybody has an open shot on him, he better have his head on his swivel because he's going to be eating it.
Oh, especially if the game's out of reach and they're like, roughing the passer. I don't care. I'll take the 15 yards.
Exactly. You know what? The coach's staff might even say, you know what? I don't even care if you get a penalty. Just hurt this guy because he's a jerk.
Who was the coach in New Orleans that got fined for going after Brett Favre?
Williams.
Greg Williams. Yeah, that's what. Imagine he was going against him. He might be dead.
Oh yeah, Greg Williams would have a bounty on that guy already. Like there'd be like a suitcase of money, like wrestling, like Money in the Bank match. If you end Mac Jones, you get the briefcase full of the jewels and money. I'll tell you something. I don't know what to do with this game, Drew. I hate New England. And you know what? The funny thing is they actually could have won the game and covered for me. At the end, I'm like, they're going to come back and win this game.
I thought they should have. Another late thing.
Lost by a half point, but we can, and people will say, hey, maybe, don't buy points. Sometimes buy points. If you got it to 4, you would have got a push. So you know what? Sometimes I don't mind paying that extra money, but this is a spread show. We can only bet with what's in front of us. I will take New England -2.5. Tua has a problem. I feel bad for the guy. He's concussed. They
can't play him, right? Even if he clears the protocol?
No. He cannot. He can. Miami this season looks like it's kind of going down the tubes pretty quick here. That's a horrible loss to Green Bay. Like they needed that win.
And I thought they were going to cover the number too, but then Tua in the second half just stopped knowing how to throw the football. He's throwing to the wrong team. And then showed a play in the first half where he slammed his head off the ground. So likely he was playing concussed in the second half, which is bad news for the Dolphins. Like, at what point are they going to find or strip these guys of picks because they're clearly not doing the right job protecting their football players? And if they play him this week, that's a disservice to the entire league, Cam. They can't possibly play him with the player safety on the line. The NFLPA will have a field day with the Dolphins if they do. So give me New England to win this game outright by 2.5. Bill Belichick on the line, playoffs on the line. I think he comes out and wins this one. It doesn't matter who makes the 7th seed though, because they're going to go into Cincy or KC or Buffalo and get smoked.
Yeah, let's give New England credit. If they didn't start that bad game so poorly against Cincinnati, they win. Cincinnati did nothing after the first half of that game. Like they did not. The fact that New England didn't win and cover for me pissed me off because Drew, did they not have the ball in like the 1-3 yard line?
They fumbled with 2 minutes.
Yeah, they fumbled. Yes, exactly.
They looked like they were going to.
They would have won the game,
yeah,
or at least covered. So like I've had to. You know what? This is life, guys, and we'll say this. You know what? You're going to have good breaks and bad breaks. And me and Drew this week, every break went against us with our picks. Yeah. A lot of like on both sides. So that's life. I'll take the Patriots with you, buddy. Let's go.
All right, moving on. The Colts, who screwed you last night on Monday Night Football, Nick Foles decided to throw a bunch of picks.
That game should not. If I would have known Nick Foles, if we would have showed me like some of the stuff that he did, like the Chargers would have been in the mineral picks. But I bet because I thought the guy could figure it out, and he can't. The Colts defense did everything they could in that
exactly.
game.
They played Herbert fine. They didn't allow the deep ball. Eckler barely played well besides his 2 touchdowns. But yeah, Nick Foles did not look good. They're 4.5-point road dogs. 81% of the public is on the Giants in this game, Cam.
What are you
That's
doing?
a lot of people on this game. Oh man, I know the Giants need this.
You know what?
To stay alive.
I think if Sam Ellinger starts, I'll take Indy here. I don't want to see Foles again. I don't want to see Foles.
You think Ellinger is better than Foles?
Yes, I do. At this point, dude, Foles sucks, man.
So does Ellinger.
Yeah, you know what? At least he's a kid who can move his feet. Foles is a statue.
I know. Did you see the 4th down play? They're like, oh, Foles is like, oh,
he's horrible.
I know. He couldn't even reach the first down.
Like, I don't know. Okay, listen, Sam Ellinger's a kid, but at least he can move his feet. He can get out of danger. I'm not going to say he knows an NFL playbook like Nick Foles, who won a Super Bowl, but Nick Foles basically has the same mobility as Matt Ryan. They're the same guy. Matt Ryan's just a better quarterback.
I know.
I would have started Matt Ryan. Like going to Nick Foles, like, see, this is a problem with Jeff Saturday. He's got no clue.
Yeah, but he might not be making these calls, Cam. It might be Irsay saying throw the game, put Foles in. Like, we don't know. Right? Like, he might just be the yes man.
I have no idea what Irsay's doing other than drinking a bottle of scotch. He looks like he's like me after a few drinks in the stands. There. Like he looks absolutely torqued.
Cam, 81% of the public. Are you going with them?
What are you doing? You tell me what you like in this game.
I got to go with the Giants here. I can't trust the Colts. I mean,
you know what?
It's 17-10. They're still going to cover.
Let's do an experiment. And usually the experiment, every time we do it, the team was like,
I know the 80% always loses. I know.
Yes. So I'll take the Giants too. And then I'll switch the pick by Thursday. Let me think about it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll both be on the same side until the Thursday filming and Friday show. The Saints going to Philly to take on the Eagles. Jalen Hurts could be back, maybe not back. I don't know if they need him against the Saints, but if not, Gardner Minshew starting. It's currently 6.5 points. The Saints, huge win against the Browns. Well, not huge. It didn't really matter for their season. Cam, you can start this one since I started the last one. Do you like Minshew to cover against the Saints? 6.5 points?
I do. I think Philadelphia played good in that game against Dallas, except for the end with the Sanders
turnovers. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's 6.5. It's just under the number. It'll go up to 7. Give me Philadelphia. I think they can win this game by a touchdown. I can't believe I'm taking the chalk this week. Don't worry, Drew. That'll change when I reassess my plan. These are just early leans right now. As for the Saints, got to give them a little bit of credit going into Cleveland and winning the game and actually having a game plan to run the ball with Taysom Hill and Kamara getting a touchdown in that game. So I'll take Philadelphia, but very difficult game, like all of these games.
It seemed like they figured it out that, hey, when we take Andy Dalton off the field, we do better. Like, let's just keep doing that. But will they continue that trend at Lincoln Financial Field this weekend? Who knows? So I'm going to take the Eagles as well. Minshew played fine. I know the interceptions were bad, but he still almost won against the Dallas Cowboys' vaunted defense, even though they haven't been playing well lately. Sorry. Yeah, give me the Eagles to win by 6.5 points. I think they lock up the 1 seed with this victory. All right, Cam, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Carolina Panthers. Who would have thought this is the battle for the NFC South? The winner of this game takes over first place in the division. Tampa currently has it, but if Carolina wins, they leap them for that first seed. It's only 3 points, Cam. Everything in my mind is saying bet Brady 3 points. It's a must-win game. He can lock up the division with this victory, but 57% of the public is on Carolina. Am I wrong to be going with Tampa here?
I don't know. I'll talk to you on Sunday afternoon at 4 or 4:15, Drew. Like I don't know who's going to win this game. I got Carolina winning the division when they were like 14-1. I got to go check my ticket out when they were way back. So this game is big for me. Actually, I could actually hedge, but that doesn't help the viewers and listenership here. So let's take Carolina. I love what they've done in this game. I think they're playing for their coach. Have you seen that defense play? Like they
I
made Detroit. Like Detroit was like, what the hell's going on here? Like
The
Carolina
issue is
played,
Tampa's defense is very good as well.
oh, I
playing
know
well.
it is. I know it is. Probably the under is probably the best thing to look at in this game,
Yeah.
but I know it'll be bet down from 40, probably down to 38 and a half. I'll take Carolina +3 and hope for the best because I love the way this team is playing right now. Their last 10, 7-3 against the spread. The Tampa Bay Bucks don't cover numbers. You're right, though. It's a short spread at 3, but I'm going to take Carolina. You know me, Drew. It's more of a spite pick. I will never take Tampa Bay as favored, so I'll take Carolina.
Yeah. Isn't it
I'm
crazy?
cheering for Carolina.
Tampa's yet to cover a game at home this season, 0-6-1. It's pretty ridiculous when you think about that. They have Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Leonard Fournette, all these weapons on offense that can't cover
Their
numbers.
offense looks gross.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Brady can't throw the football anymore. There's these deep balls, he's just underthrowing every single one of them. And then when they do throw deep, they're throwing to Scotty Miller on a streak. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing deep to Scotty Miller with all your weapons? But yeah, I got to go with the 3 points just because even if Carolina's winning, something's going to happen. Darnold's going to fumble a snap or the ref's going to throw some flags and Brady's going to have a chance to win it at the end. So I think at worst I get a push. So give me Brady to win by 3 points here. Where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I'm going to say Tampa Bay.
You are correct. That's 3 for 3 on the tiebreakers. Jeez, you're psychic or something. I don't know what's going on. All right, Cam. The Cleveland Browns going to Washington to take on the Commanders or Commies, as you call them.
Oh yeah, I hate this team.
Yeah, the Commanders 2.5-point favorites at home.
I'll take them again.
You're going to take Washington again. Explain why.
Cleveland's
Explain why
just,
you're going back to the well.
Okay. Who do you like in this game? You want to flip
I
a
like
point?
the other side.
Cleveland sucks. Anyway, whatever. Prince Harry's starting for Washington. I get Wentz.
Yeah, it's likely Wentz.
Instead of ice cold Heineken. At Heineke Muffler Shop, obviously that muffler's rusted out. Honestly, I don't know what's happened to this guy, but he makes bad decisions. Like he's a gamer, but he just not
chucks it. Like he doesn't even think about it.
He just puts it up, gets picked, whatever.
He at least can move though. Wentz doesn't really move that much.
No, but San Francisco's got an elite defense. Cleveland doesn't. Washington's at home. I'll take Washington -1.5. And this pick might be changed too, but Cleveland sucks too. Both teams are horrible. I'll take
Cleveland has a good pass rush, and the way you beat them is to run the football, which I don't think Washington's very good at.
No, Robinson's pretty good after the gunshots.
They're
I think he's done quite well this year.
They are decent around the ball, but they're not as good as New Orleans was last week with Taysom Hill and all those trick plays. I think Cleveland can win this game outright, which means I have to take them by 2 to cover the 2.5. Cam. I don't like it. Like I'm not going to be like putting a lot of money on this game because it's gross. I like the under here, if anything. Where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I'm going to say Cleveland.
Wow, 4 for 4, Cam. Didn't even go with the favorite. I was like, oh, maybe this will trick Cam that he's on the underdog.
No tricks.
Cam knows. Cam knows Mystery Tiebreaker Man. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the San Francisco 49ers. The Raiders blew that game against Pittsburgh, or Derek Carr blew it because they were winning till late in the fourth quarter. I had a nice live bet on Pittsburgh. That was the only real thing I hit this weekend.
Yeah.
Raiders 5.5-point home dogs. I know you love home dogs, Cam, but this is the 49ers trying to get to that 2 seed in the NFC. Where are you going?
I'm going to go with the 49ers. I might switch this pick. I'm really torn between it because I love points, but San Francisco's defense, they didn't even play well against Washington. They still covered because of their defense. Bosa's a killer. He is the defensive player of the year.
Unbelievable.
Shut the book. Bosa is the best player. Like the way he terrorized Washington in that game, he was a one-man gang. Drew, he's unstoppable. Like unstoppable.
I don't know how you block the guy. You got to double him.
I know. You double him. I almost want to triple him. That's how good this guy is. But anyway, I will take San Francisco. What is it? Is it 5.5?
5.5, yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw 6, but maybe I need to refresh. Okay, you know what? You give it to me at 5.5. I'll take San Francisco. I think they probably win between 6 and 10 points. It'll be pretty close to the number. I don't see a blow, but I'll take San Fran for now.
The reason I'm taking San Fran, Cam, is after the Raiders game last week against Pittsburgh, when they knew their season's over because they needed that win. They just talked to the players and they were so demoralized. You saw Josh Jacobs go, I've been here 4 years. Every year it's the same thing. We play hard, we try hard, and just same results. So he's definitely gone in the offseason because he doesn't want to be there. Just give me San Fran. I think the Raiders are checked out. Derek Carr probably playing his last 2 games in a Raiders uniform. He's probably going to be somewhere else next year. Maybe Miami, maybe replaces Tua. We'll see. But yeah, I think the Raiders are checked out. I don't think I think it's going to be more San Fran fans at this game than Vegas fans. So give me the 49ers to win this game by 5.5. Cam, the New York Jets going to your Seattle Seahawks. Mike White starting for the Jets against Geno Smith. What a turn of events. 3 weeks ago, I would have picked Seattle to be favored by 5.5 points here probably, but now they're 2.5-point home dogs. You're the Seahawks whisperer. You tell me what's going to happen here.
I was right about Kansas City last week. I kind of lean Jets, and I hate to do this. Yeah, I really do, Drew. And it pains me to say this is going to be a pretty tight game, but I could see the Jets winning by 3 or 4. Geno Smith has regressed. Seattle's got problems. The defense, you can do anything you want. Mike White's actually effective. And the thing about the Jets is they have a much better defense. Defense wins football games. So all the Jets have to do is win by a field goal. This is a very difficult game for me to say, but I'm going to take the New York Football Jets in this spot. I just think with Sauce Gardner and the guys they have, Seattle will make enough mistakes in this game for the Jets to win. I don't really trust Seattle's defense. That's a big problem. So give me the Jets. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if Lockett's not back, it's even a bigger problem because we saw Goodwin couldn't do anything. I know people were like, "Oh, he's a viable replacement." No, he's not.
No,
Lockett's a third down machine.
He is. Lockett's he's like Keenan Allen, Drew. He runs perfect routes, and like he's a guy that you can count on. He might not be, one of the best Devontae Adams receiver, but you know what it is? When it's a 3rd and 6, he'll run the right pattern, and if the ball's there, he'll catch it. That's the thing about Lockett.
And he doesn't get injured from contact. Like he always avoids the contact. I know he broke his hand, but that wasn't because of a big hit.
He's a smart receiver.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets as well, Cam. The reverse line movement on Seattle scares me. Everyone's betting the Seahawks that they started at mine. Sorry, it's not reverse line movement. It's went from 1.5 to +2.5. I'm reading the line wrong. But people are still on the Seahawks at +2.5, and I don't like that. I'll take the Jets as well. It's a must-win game for them. They have an outside chance at the playoffs if New England beats Miami this week, and then some other stuff happens in week 18.
Yeah.
But give me the Jets because I think their playoff hopes are still alive. All right, Cam. The Green Bay Packers somehow, some way, alive in the playoff race after 3 straight victories and beating the Dolphins last week. 3-point favorites at home against the Vikings, who are 12-3. Are the Vikings being disrespected here, or are the Packers just going to win this game?
Everyone thinks the Packers were great in that game. That was just Miami playing like junk. Tua gave that game away.
100%.
So this whole Green Bay love fest and everyone thinking they're doing great. Yeah, but I'll give them this. They're taking care of business, but have they been doing it really well, or have other teams been collapsing in front of Green Bay? I will take Minnesota +3. I know if this game was at home and I was getting 1, I'd smash Minnesota in this game, but I'll still take the points with Minnesota. They're a better football team. I don't care what anybody says about Green Bay and they're doing nothing in the playoffs. You're done.
Yeah. I mean,
enough of this talk.
But so if you're Minnesota though, Cam, do you see this match and go like, hey, if we throw this game to the Packers, we're going to get them in round 1. And like we want them to come in our building and beat them. Like, do you think that maybe matchups are on the line here? Like,
I would think Minnesota would want to win this game to get Green Bay out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to play divisional opponents.
And the thing is, the Aaron Rodgers magic. It's 1 week, 1 game. They can beat. They can turn it on. That's the one thing about Green Bay that's scary.
Aaron Rodgers is choke artist in the playoffs. Cam.
I know, but I don't think he can. I don't think he win consistent games. I don't think Green Bay is better than Dallas, San Francisco, Philadelphia.
I think if you're San Francisco, you're cheering for the Packers to win here because then the Packers jump into the 7th seed and San Fran goes to the 2. And you know what happens when San Fran plays Green Bay in the playoffs? They just run
Aaron
it down.
Rodgers comes back in a body bag.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
we'll take Minnesota. You know what Green Bay wins though, Drew? Like, think about this. Green Bay can win this game by between 1 and 3. At worst, we get a push or whatever. So we're taking the dog. I'm taking Minnesota. And
Aaron Jones likely being out is a big blow to the Packers.
I agree.
I like AJ Dillon, but I don't know if I like him to get 40 to 50 touches in a game.
You know what AJ Dillon is? Like your parents' meat shop. Like he tenderizes you, right? Like when we're making a nice cutlet. Like he basically gets stronger as the game progresses, but he's not as dynamic as Jones with speed and elusiveness.
You can't give him a screen pass to go 80 yards to the house. Like you're not getting that.
That's it. He will bowl you over for 10 yards though. But give me Minnesota in this game, Drew. I think we might be on the right side here. Let's hope.
Yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle on the money line of Minnesota as well because I like that they're the underdog here. And everyone just keeps down on them. They just keep winning 1-possession games. And they just have to, they don't have to win this game. Like you said, they can lose by 1 to 3 and you still cover. So give me the Vikings. All right, Cam, Battle of LA. This was a Sunday nighter to start the season. It got flexed out. The Chargers hosting the Rams, 6.5-point favorites at home for the Chargers. Justin Herbert finally checked his ticket to the playoffs the first time in his career. They have nothing really to play for besides seeding the 5th or 6th seed. They're not catching the KC for the playoffs. That's already clinched for the division. Sorry. Where are you going on this one? You going
Rams.
Baker? You're going Baker.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I'm going Baker. Baker's got like a new lease on life. The players actually like playing for him. And you know what? For all the times I've ripped Baker Mayfield for the progressive commercials and stuff, you got to, you know what? I'm actually happy for the guy. He got claimed on waivers. He was at the bottom. And you know what? I like the fact that, you know, he's playing really well right now and the team's playing for him. You know what, Drew? He's a smart guy. He got picked by the exact right team for their system. With Matt Stafford hurt, he's starting to really figure it out. He understands McVay's offense. And the thing is, the Rams, I know they blew out Denver, but asking the Chargers to win by a converted touchdown is a lot to ask. I'll take the Rams in this spot. They're playing, you know what? I got to give them credit. They grinded against Green Bay. It was just a cold night, and they absolutely destroyed Denver, who's not a great team, but they destroyed them. And asking the Chargers, hey, Indianapolis, the only reason they didn't cover in that game is Foles horrible.
It's true.
So it's just, so give me the Rams and we'll hope for the best. We're getting, what are we getting? 6.5?
6.5. I'm going to go Chargers here, Cam. I think I would take this even if it was 9.5 points. I think the Chargers are just better on defense, offense. I don't think Cam Akers is running for 3 touchdowns against this Chargers defense. I mean, he might because Zach Moss looked pretty good against them, but I just don't see it. I think the Chargers win this game. They'll be able to throw on the Rams, unlike against the Colts. I think the Colts defense is better than the Rams with all their injuries.
Colts defense is good.
So yeah, give me the Chargers to win this game by 6.5. It is a big number, but I think they can win this by 10 to 14. So give me the Chargers. Where do you think Mr. Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
Chargers.
Oh, first wrong one, Cam, on Baker.
Man, I was going to win the game. I was going to win everything.
Yeah, you were going to no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, whammy.
Yeah. Yes. I love Press Your Luck. I used to pretend to be sick to stay at home to watch Press Your Luck. It was a great day. You stay home, watch the Flintstones, Press Your Luck, great game shows. Oh,
you
Press
remember
Your Luck was my favorite.
They got that guy who found out the algorithm and he cheated to win. And I was that's not cheating. He just knew the algorithm. That's on you guys. That's not on him.
It's like baseball. You're stealing signs. You're not doing your job. Do better. Press your luck. Get a new get a new system.
They're like, yeah, we can't give him all this money. He was like, what? He beat you at your own game. That's your own fault.
It's your fault for being stupid, and the guy figured it out. I'm with you, Drew, on that one. Give it my decision. Human being over.
Exactly. 100%. All right, Sunday Night Football, Cam. The Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lamar Jackson looks like he's probably going to play, but we'll see. He might just hold out because he might be like, listen, give me the bag of money or I'm not playing. They're 3-point favorites at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers need this win to stay alive in the playoff race. Ravens need this win to stay alive in the divisional race because if Buffalo beats Cincinnati on Monday night and the Ravens win this game, all of a sudden the Ravens are the 3 seed. So that's a huge difference in the games. You want to host a playoff game more so than being on the road, Cam. So where are you going in this one? You going with the Ravens by 3 at home, or are you going to go with Mike Tomlin to continue his streak of no losing seasons?
Can you please start this one, Drew? I'd like to think about this one for a sec.
Yeah, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers and TJ Watt here. I don't care if Lamar's back or not. I think he'll be rusty. I know the Ravens can have a chance at the division, but I think I like Tomlin and the Steelers defense with the playoffs on the line versus the Ravens and Lamar Jackson with the playoffs on the line. He doesn't have enough weapons. I think the Steelers can win this game outright. So give me Pittsburgh on the road.
I'm going to take Baltimore, but I don't really love it, Drew, but I don't care who's quarterback. If it's Huntley or Lamar Jackson, it's 3 points. You might be on the right side here, but Pittsburgh, that wasn't even a great performance on Franco Harris tribute night against the Raiders. Like, yeah, their defense, that's the thing. Their defense can cover this game. Like they have an elite defense. As for Baltimore, it's a short spread, divisional game, tough rivalry. I'll take Baltimore to win this game by 4 and just cover the 3. I think it's going to be a pretty tight game, though. You might be on the right side here, but give me the Raven.
Yeah, Cam, TJ Watt in the lineup, they're 4 games above 500, which shows you what a big difference he is to their team. Where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I'm going to say Pittsburgh.
Oh, you knew he's a Mike Tomlin fan. He is on the Pittsburgh Steelers, 5-1 with the tiebreaker calls this week, Cam.
Wow.
All right. Monday nighter, biggest Monday night football game of the season. The Bengals hosting the Buffalo Bills. The Bills 1.5-point road favorites. If the Bills win, they probably lock up the 1 seed because it's an easy game next week. If they lose, they fall to the 3 seed, which is a huge difference. And Cincinnati has a outside chance to 1 seed, but at least they'll move to 2. A lot of implications here on this game, Cam. Bengals home dogs, probably the only time you're going to see this. Do you go with the home dog here, the cat?
No, I kind of like Buffalo. I don't know what it is. Like people know that, cats are my friend, but I don't know what it is. I told you it's because of you and Rancy, everybody else. Everybody, like, I actually cheer for Buffalo. Like if Seattle's done, Buffalo's the team I cheer for.
We pull out your heartstrings. You don't like seeing heartbreak.
You know what it is? I want to see people in Buffalo get happy. For once, like I know people enjoy misery.
You see the snow, Cam? The Bills players came home to 6 feet of snow on their cars. Why do they have underground parking at the airport for the players?
Not just that. Who's like? Isn't there a guy that can get paid a couple $100?
I know.
You go, you're the guy who looks after the Bills' cars. Like you can't let these guys come back with 20 feet.
It's $1 billion team, and you have players shoveling 6 feet of snow.
The one guy can't even get it. He's hitting the snowbank with his door. He can't even.
And they're starting their car inside snowbanks. I was like, that's not good. They don't realize the carbon monoxide is coming into their car. I was like, what is going on?
We have to talk about this. That was actually a real problem. Anyway, Buffalo, can you hire a kid like who's the bag boy at Super Duper or Tops to be like the shovel guy too? Or good call, Drew. Like, where's the underground? Like, I have no idea what's going on
You
here.
can't build these as a roof for the cars. Yeah, no, it's so stupid.
I just like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm watching. It's funny on the TV. Buffalo Airport scheduled to reopen at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Wow. I'll tell you one thing about Buffalo. I like to go down there and like, get cheap booze and go to the casino. But God, man, the snow belt there, I would never like. That's a tough.
You can't live there.
No. I can't. Good prices, but no. Buffalo. Give me Buffalo in this spot. This is a real. But no, what worries me, Drew? Buffalo's defense still, they give up like the first half against the Bears too. They got to tighten it up. If this team wants to go to the Super Bowl, you got to tighten up your D.
Yeah, mobile quarterbacks give them problems. The good thing is Burrow doesn't move a lot in the pockets, which will allow them to have a good pass rush. But the Bengals, I mean, they look good in the first half against New England, but then the New England defense figured them out. And I think the Bills defense is a little bit better than the Patriots.
I agree.
Reverse line movement here, Cam. 58% of the public is on Cincy, and it's moved from 2 to 1.5. I know everyone's going to be on the Bengals, on the money line, all this stuff. And honestly,
I think the Bills will win by 3. It'll be a tight game.
I've seen the Bills lose heartbreakers like this all the time. I don't want it to happen, but it could happen. But I still have to go with Buffalo. I think they want that 1 seed because the last 2 years, they've seen what it means to be on the road in the playoffs, and they need that home game. If they lose this game, I think they don't make the Super Bowl. I think that's how important this game is for the Buffalo Bills, Cam. So I have to go with the Bills here as much as I expect heartbreak. Expect the worst, hope for the best. But I'll be picking the Bills.
That's a good attitude to have. You won't be disappointed. You think they're going to lose, because that's another thing about being Bills fan. You expect to lose, and maybe when they win, it'll surprise you.
It's like cheering for the Leafs in Game 7, Cam. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I know that a guy like Nick Paul from Mississauga, Ontario, is going to have the best game of his life. For like guy lives down the street from me and absolutely like bust the Leafs down. No, trust me, I expect it too. Leaf fan and Bills fan have a lot in common: heartbreak and misery. But you know what? You brought up a great point. Buffalo will play this game like a playoff game. They understand. No more going into Kansas City and stuff like that. We need home field advantage.
And can they for once get a nice weather game, Cam? Like, can we just have nice clear skies on at nightime? Like, they go to Chicago, bad weather. At home against Miami, there's snowballs on the field. Oh, Jets, it's a monsoon. Like, they're like, oh, Josh Allen's turnovers. He still has almost 40 touchdowns on the season, and all this bad weather.
As crazy as this is, Buffalo, they should be a dome team for the way they're built. I know they can play in the cold, but Josh Allen's amazing. Like, actually, the better the elements, the better the Bills are. I'll take them against anybody in a dome. They're good. Like, you've seen what they do to teams when they play. Like, their offense. The
only thing is, you got to credit Allen because he's huge and he's got the big hands. That in cold weather, like, he has the advantage. But at the same time, like, he's throwing 2 picks against Chicago. One of them was just boneheaded throw. But the wind's 35-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. How are you supposed to throw deep in that? So
you can't.
It's going to be a mess Monday night, Cam. Hopefully it's good weather. It'll be the best game of the week, probably one of the best games of the season. But yeah, anyways, we'll see you guys all on the Friday show for our best bets, our gold, silver, and bronze, our survivor picks, our prop bets. Most of them hit last week except Montgomery. Our anytime touchdown Montgomery did not hit. Surprisingly.
I am actually, my touchdown props were horrible. I don't think J.K. Dobbins got one. I had Pacheco. I had McKinnon with his overs in the game. Now, the thing, what, Drew, I'm learning these props. People think they're easy. They're not easy. These anytime touchdown props, you don't know the team's game plan, or it doesn't matter.
Cam, I told you, Derrick Henry over and touchdown, both those hit. It was easy. Like, he Texans each time.
Good picks.
It was an easy pick for me, and including the Justin Jefferson over. Every week, this guy's going over. He's going to break Calvin Johnson's record. I hate that the records, though, Cam, it's now 18 weeks. So, like, it skews it for me. This guy's an extra game. Like, it should be
it's actually not right. You should break it down mathematically, and you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. No, you didn't break the record. You're playing an extra game. Like, what are you talking about?
It should be like the most yards in 16 games, and then new record, most yards in 17 games, like 2 separate records. Because
correct.
Yeah, I don't like the whole 2,000 yards thing.
Like, honestly, no. And if you don't think any like the way we're thinking, you're wrong. You guy's an extra game. It's
just like the passing touchdowns. Like, Mahomes' first ever 5,500 yard season. Yeah, he had an extra game to throw 400 yards. Like,
exactly.
It means a lot. Anyways, once again, all these lines are powered by Sports Interaction. Please rate and review this podcast. Download it everywhere you find your audio pods, as well as liking and subscribing to the SDPN YouTube channel. Leave a comment, review us, tell us what you like. What's your favorite pick this week? And please hit all of your bets. We had a bad week last week. We're going to have a great week this week if we believe in ourselves, Cam, which we do. I know we're not confident, but we're going to win all our bets this week.
Hey, we'll do the best we can, man. I hope we hit some winners.
Yeah,
but
16
Drew, so what happened with the change pick? So I was 3-3 with changes.
You were 3-3.
What were you?
I was, let's see, 0-1, 0-2. I only switched 3. I was 1-2.
And 2. So yeah, so you should have stuck with your instinct. You would have got one more win, but we'll figure it out. I have a feeling we'll be changing a few this week too, buddy.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we will see you all on Friday morning. Take care, everybody.
This has been Drew and Stu, presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.